Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the JRRB podcast with myself, Ryan Levine, joined here by Jeff Jones and Bohdan Temnick.
Hello.
It has been a while since our first episode.
That's the go-to. So it's been a while.
Yes, that is the go-to. It is not intentional, but we've.
But now I feel like there'll probably always be some random amount of time because now Bohdan has a real job. So now really he has a real job in a time zone that's crazy different.
13 hours.
It's really hard for all of us to get on the same page now.
Mm-hmm. So, regardless,
take it or leave it.
Yeah, we're talking about some set 2 stuff. We're talking about I guess, at time of recording, Bologna day 1 has concluded. So we are going to look at the meta breakdown of the entrance of Bologna, the first regional for the Western release, for the English release. And then first we are going to talk about how the decks and the legends were performing in China leading up to this, and how it converted to the English release and where we think it could possibly go from here. Hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, it will be maybe the day, like it might be after day 2 of Bologna has concluded, but hopefully it will be very, very soon, either while Bologna day 2 is going on or directly after, and then any of this will mean anything. And then hopefully also we will be able to have our third episode in 2 to 3 weeks after the conclusion of the Las Vegas regional, and then we can kind of, compare notes and see where we've gone on this journey, right? From the release in China and the 4 major regionals they had there, and then the 2 English language regionals.
There might have been more, but I brought up 4.
Yeah, so we're looking at 4. There might have been more that we missed, but this is what we're going with for now. Maybe it's incomplete, but we'll go from there. So, I guess let's just jump into it. I guess the Draven has been the talk of the town, right? That's the deck that has won almost all. It won 3 of China's, the 4 that we have up here, right? Or did it only win 2 of them, maybe?
I know there must have been
another one. And Annie won a regional each, right?
Yeah.
Was Kaiser's a city challenge?
No.
I don't know.
Let's see if where's this other one? Am I missing another one?
No, I think it was just the 4 regionals. Yeah. So I guess Draven won. Okay. Draven won 2 of the 4 regionals, and then Annie and Kaisa each won one, right? But Draven was the majority of top cut, I believe, for the majority of top 8 for.
If we look at all of these, basically it's like only one of them, Draven, was like a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 2 of them in top 8. And then you have all the decks right here. So 12, 13, 10, 12. So Draven is actually, if we look at over here, Draven's 15% on ours, right?
Yeah, so I guess we can look at the meta breakdown for day 1 of Bologna. So this is just decks entered. Draven took the top spot at 15%. Kaisa was the second spot at 11%, Irelia 9%, Ezreal and Annie each at 5%, and then after that, every legend is 4% or less. I'll have the whole breakdown on the screen, hopefully. But yeah, so I would say after Annie, I guess you could argue, a couple more. There's like Ari's a very popular character, so Ari had a lot of entrants. Victor's also very popular, and I think Victor did win one of the first city challenges that kind of got publicized in China.
There was that 1 week where everyone played the Control Victor deck with all the spells.
Yeah,
not amazing.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of a holdover from that. But I would say, as far as like power level wise of decks, I would say after Annie, I'd say is when you start dipping into like the tier 2, right? Like Draven, Kaisa, Irelia, Ezreal, Annie, I would say are definitively the best decks. Like I think outside of those 5, there is a drop in power. Would you agree?
I would say that Sivir is actually like up there. I think Sivir is better than Annie,
Really?
Yeah, like so, but I just think anything with chaos, it's hard for it to be actually bad.
Sure.
And yeah. I mean, I think Silver is better, but it did have a lower play rate than Annie by 1%, right? 67
Yeah.
to
I did see some people talking about Sivir being a strong deck that they just thought couldn't win in the time limit. And I guess like I haven't played that deck, so I don't know if that's a concern that you've run into or anything like that. But there have been a lot of discourse today throughout day one about people playing slowly or just the games going long even without playing slowly. Just like the game actions. There are a lot more game actions for set two, which I definitely agree with my experience playing it. You know, I played my first set two locals this week, and yeah, the chaos decks play a lot of cards. So I definitely can see that sentiment. But as far
I think like
as
the power level, like between it's weird because as if you look at like I want to say like the cards that were like expensive in set one compared to set two, I feel like there were a lot more money cards in set one, but it feels like the power level between set one and set two, like the decks it created, are just like far and away like much stronger, which I think is really weird.
What do you mean? Like set two is much stronger, or
What like
Yeah,
like
the card quality is
it
just
created
like
stronger decks, but like the cards are like not like you don't need as many of them like to play.
sure? Do you think that's like a rarity distribution thing? Like they didn't make the strongest cards epic, so they're not as expensive, or what do you or like?
I mean, probably. I mean, one of the best cards in the set is a common, and it's better than one of the epic rares. Like
a lot of stuff is more it's more like archetypal though, right? Like we're not getting a lot of generic just color stuff from set one versus now where it's hyper specific. With like Dead Bloom Predator is just a card you can fit into a range of decks, but a lot of the cards that we got in epic spots now are just like for specific decks more than anything.
Yeah,
are they?
I mean, I think
from
a
the
lot
looks
of them.
It, yeah.
I mean, the signature spells obviously are all epics, and like that takes a big chunk of them for sure, and you can definitely see like the cost, you know, like the value of the signature spell is, or the value of the signature spells are pretty directly correlated with how popular the characters are, right? Like you see Spinning Axe and Defiant Dance being really expensive. Arise is also very expensive. I'm not sure, like
no, it's basically like any of the ones that you have to play 3 of. So like you want to play 3 Arise, 3 Defiant Dance, 3 Spinning Axe, and then the next one would be like Void Rush, which I'm sure you'd want to play 3 of, and like but these are like the less popular decks. So
because I was gonna say like it does kind of like now we're 2 sets in to like the signature spell. Like we've had a second wave of characters, and I don't think I like the idea of signature spells. I'll be honest with you. I really like. It is a sort of interesting way to like rebalance legends if like a legend is less powerful than another, but their signature spell is really strong.
They don't know how to do that.
But as I was gonna say, they don't know how to do that. yeah, that's my problem.
Good character, like, good legend, good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the signature spell feels like another, you know, dial they can turn for the power level of the character, and then it just to me feels like they've kind of missed the mark. Mainly, I feel like a ton of signature spells are just terrible. Like are just like not good. Yeah. And I think it's really funny when you look at like the most powerful signature spells are just the one energy ones. Like Showstopper is probably the strongest signature spell of the set 1 legends. Not to say that set is, you know, a tremendously strong character, but
still, so that would make sense. Yeah.
You what? You think it's what?
I think it's also the most expensive still. It's
yeah. I mean, because like if you play set as your character, 3 Showstoppers go into your deck, right? Like that's non-negotiable, right? And then similarly, if you play Irelia, you're putting 3 Defiant Dance in your deck, right? Like that's just happening. Yeah. So, other than that, it was like we saw I'm going to call it a Cathian Ray. I don't know the actual pronunciation. We saw that is way less expensive than it used to be because it kind of doesn't see play anymore. But that card was $60 at one point, just because it was the Kaisa signature spell. But I don't quite think we've hit anything to that level in set 2. But I'm a little surprised.
Axe, sort of like Axe is creeping down and then stabilizing. I think maybe Irelia's signature spell is comparable to a Cathian Rain, but
sure.
Not
yeah. Well, that
it's
one
weird because you never played 3 Acacian Rain. You played 3 Defiant.
Okay, tell that to all of my opponents when I played Victor exclusively for all of my multiple.
I never played against anyone playing 3 Acacian Rain.
I wish I could say the same.
Maybe you compare it to Lost Rites, where it's like you'll usually play 1 or 2 max in any deck that can fit it. But it also is like very dependent on the metagame as well to be good. Like that card's better when there's more Kaisa. It's like better in Miracle. It's bad into mirror matches.
Yeah.
The only outlier for epics when I look at it, I guess, is like Spellsonger. I have seen, I think like Ornn really wants that card, but I haven't seen any other deck play it. Maybe I just haven't, like, Irelia doesn't want this card necessarily. But
I've wanted to try it in Irelia, but this card, like, so if you play any game, like, when I think about this, when I think of like Magic cards, anything that like doubles the triggers of your abilities is almost always fucking good.
Eventually.
And
yeah.
And Spellsonger is this card that's like generic enough that as long as like, what are they going to do? Not print good cards? And so
cards again.
It's only going to take like one crazy card for Spellsonger to like double it, and all of a sudden it's crazy. So this is a card that literally can never be bad as long as they create good characters.
Yeah. Well, it's also like just based on the deck building restrictions of the game. Every color has a legend with every color. Well, with some starting next set, right? Every legend will have a color combination. Like every color combination will have a legend, I believe, or maybe it's set 4. The only ones that we're missing are getting color. But regardless, eventually, soon, every color can be with every color. Meaning, this card being green doesn't actually restrict it with any combos with anything. Like, you can find a unit in the game you want to Spellsonger, and there will be a legal legend you could play it in, right? Like, that color combination will exist no matter what. So, I could see that one being a future, even if there's something directly right now that's lighting the world on fire, I definitely see what you mean. And I could see this being like, well, if this card becomes crazy, insane, it'll be $80, right? So, might as well get them when they're 30. And that definitely could be the case. As far as the other money cards, I don't think there's. I'm a little surprised how expensive Purple Draven is, and I wonder if that's just because people who hear like the Draven legend is broken just buy the purple one, thinking you play it in that deck.
You play 2 of this
sometimes, surely.
Yeah.
This is a 2 of an Irelia, and sometimes you side a 3rd.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that this deck doesn't have a place. I just feel like this feels like a $10 card to me, not like a $20, $25 card to me, if that makes sense.
My main issue, we're talking about like the power level, even though like the cards like aren't as like expensive, feels to like drastically changed. Like when we look at this, I look at Premonition, and this card costs 2, and you have to burn 3 runes to play it to draw 3 cards. Like Called Shot is literally just pay 0, bottom 2, draw 2 cards.
To draw 2, but look at 4,
Yes, this is an epic. That card is a common.
Yeah.
It should have been switched around, if anything.
I didn't think about how, because I don't think Premonition's a bad card. Like, I think there could be a world, like, in any deck that's generating a lot of gold, I think Premonition is, if you can, I mean, this is the classic, if you can avoid playing a card's mana cost, then it's broken. If you can avoid bottom decking 3 blue runes, then Premonition is crazy. And I think this set has a lot of ways to do that. But I don't think Premonition is a bad card by any means, and I definitely could see this card being good in some decks now or soon. But I agree with you. I hadn't really considered comparing that card to Called Shot. And well, one, I
Like,
think
they
called
are in
shot
different
is
color,
yeah.
but still, like,
Yes.
I don't. Yeah.
I do think that called shot is probably the most powerful card in the set, like pound for pound. I mean, it's a 0 mana card, right? That's it's hard to beat that. And many ways to make it. I mean, I think we've talked about this previously, where like the interaction between called shot and Ezreal, letting you repeat it for free, is just insane. Like it's just absolute insanity. So I'm I guess ready to be wrong, and like maybe the more mid-rangey decks that aren't maxing out on Ezreal's seals and called shots do end up doing well, but I can't imagine that like the miracle versions do poorly. Like I'm sure we'll see many different legends playing, 3 Ezreal, 3 seal, 3 called shot in their purple decks and
there's
doing quite well.
There's like one Ezreal and one Draven who are undefeated right now, and I'm assuming, I don't know if the Ezreal is.
No,
like, the
there's one Miracle Draven and one standard, 2 standard Draven, I think.
But yeah, yes.
Yeah, you said one Draven. Yeah. Anyway.
One Draven that is. Yes, that is Miracle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's one Ezreal, which I think, I do not know if it is Miracle or not, but I would lead
it's Miracle. I'm pretty sure is what people have been saying.
I would also lead towards that, because I don't think is there a card called Pit Rookie? Is that the other version?
Pit Crew.
The rat,
Pit Crew.
right?
Pit Crew. Yeah, Pit Rookie's another. Yeah, Pit Crew. Like, the Pit Crew version is cool, but I don't think like it's that good. But
it definitely leaves a bit to be desired. But I mean, you could do both. Like you could play the Pit Crew stuff in the. But you mean like with like when you say Miracle for that specifically, do you mean more like Rasa and I don't know. Are we going to see Nocturnes finding their way in these decks eventually? Probably not. Like surely not.
Well, I know some of them do play Nocturne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prismaticism plays Nocturne in his 8-0 deck. No, in his.
Was he playing Draven?
Miracle Draven deck, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
it's on the Runes and Rifts 1K.
Yeah, like early on, like revealing like a Nocturne, like turn 1 is just crazy. Oh, all right, cat. But yeah, I mean, back to the actual tournaments and not the actual set. Something I found interesting is that this tournament, the second most popular deck is Kai'Sa. In every single tournament in China, the second most popular deck has always been Aurelia. In every single one. Aurelia is third here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just like a girl thing. I mean, so I'm trying to think. Aurelia has not won in China.
Yeah.
I don't even know if did it get second?
I think you're going the same place I was going to go with this, where I think the biggest shock for me looking at our breakdown was I didn't think Kai'Sa would be in second. I knew Kai'Sa was still a popular deck, and I knew Kai'Sa would still see, a lot of play. I just thought it would fall somewhere into like third or fourth. I did not expect second most represented deck to be Kai'Sa. Maybe just also because
also didn't.
Kai'Sa's not like sensationalized to the same way that these purple decks have been, right? Like people have been, shouting from the rooftops that the purple decks are going to end Riftbound, and Riftbound is going to be canceled after 2 sets, and the player base is going to be evaporated because the game is unplayable now, yada, 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 yada. And Kai'Sa's nowhere near that equation. So I guess when I saw Kai'Sa being the second most played deck, and Kai'Sa now feels like, I don't know how to explain this, feels like a much more like honest and fair deck than it did in set 1, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like Kai'Sa almost feels like the underdog now, which is funny.
It could just be sunken cost. Like you could have had people towards the end of Origins be like, all right, I won't play Kai'Sa anymore. And then out of China, we just had Kai'Sa actually, performing quite well. And then they're like, oh, well, I have the cards for Kai'Sa. Why not just continue playing that? You only have to add a bunch of commons, maybe like
Piercing Light,
Forerunner,
maybe.
Nothing crazy. Yeah. So Time Warp if you weren't, pre-prepped for it. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's also like a good number of people who thought or think, I don't know if it is, that Kaisa has like one of the better matchups into Draven.
Yeah, I've never played that match. Like I've my set two hands-on experience.
It's definitely
much.
one of the decks that can play against Draven. It has the same issue as a lot of the decks where it's like your card quality is dictated by drawing one half of your deck and then the other half of your deck. But if you draw all of one half or all of the other half, you lose. So that's the biggest concern it has. It's like any other deck. Like I said to Jeff, I pop into the call with him and Asala, and I'm like, playing units sucks. And that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You look at your hand and it's just all units against Draven, and you're just like sweating.
Yeah.
But like, one thing I wanted to touch on is that for how popular Aurelia is, she never performs very well. And
in the
I
Chinese
think maybe
events is what you mean? In the China regionals?
in the China events, like the most I think she's gotten is like top 4.
Top 4, yeah.
Like 4th place here, 4th place here.
Do you think
but
there's
she's
like
always
rogue matchups that sort of beat Irelia? Like are there decks that are maybe beating it at the first 2 rounds of the tournament?
Yeah, maybe like she's just really good in all the other decks and then loses to Draven. I don't know, but that's what I want to know is like why do people keep going to her? Like, is she that popular of a league character? Maybe like she is like the cool girl card. I don't know if that's like a thing. Like people just want to play her because she's cool. Like Kaisa was like a good character and people love her.
Irelia is the World's Bundle promo as well, and there's a lot of like fanfare behind it. So I know people who are playing Irelia just because they got.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, New Year's Bundle. I think I just stand corrected. But yeah, they got the Irelia deck because they got the Chinese like World's New Year's Bundle promo, and that could be another one. That could just be like Irelia's popularity that we're sort of like not in tune with as well, though. So I'm not too sure. Because I know people who have played Teemo because they got the World's Bundle. There you go. I said it correctly this time, Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about making a Teemo deck because.
Oh, there you go.
Teemo's cool. That's the very first deck I built.
Teemo's currently 7-1 at Bologna, by the way. We don't want to talk about that, huh? It might actually be 7-0-1. I don't know how people type their records anymore. The whatever the Cardi IO shows it incorrectly, and it hurts my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I because we saw a similar phenomenon in set 1 coming out of China, where I think Victor was the most played legend in the beginning, and then when Victor wasn't converting, it did go down in popularity and down and down and down and down and down in play rate. I mean, not that it was ever that low, but it was no longer like second most played or whatever. Or maybe it was actually. Wait, maybe it did actually just go to like second most played instead of most played. But I want to say it fell behind Yi and Kais at the end. But Irelia, I agree. Despite not really converting, I mean, who's to say that top 4 isn't converting, but not to the level that Draven and Kaisa were.
This is gonna be crazy, but it almost feels like, in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, like Malice. Like,
sure,
a lot of people would play it, and then it would just like top and never win over and over and over again. Like Draven's just Rizel.
So we have to wait for Irelia to get cards banned, and then it'll do well. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I mean, it does kind of play like Sky Striker. It's like a lot of like spells and single units, but yeah. Looking at the Kaisa, like talking about how we think it might have like a better like Draven matchup. It does have like Singularity, like is starting to see like 3 copies of that card. And when that card resolves against Draven, it's very, very good. However, I do know that going into this tournament, many people on Draven remaining as many as 3 copies of the
Hard Bargain.
I was going to call it Mana Leap, but yes, Hard Bargain, yes.
There's Hard Bargain. The other one that I noticed as well that sort of like messes with Kaisa's numbers into a board is like the Edge of Night, the equipment, as well as people playing
that card,
Spinning Axe in Miracle as well. Prismaticism was playing Spinning Axe in his Miracle deck because it would push you out of the Singularity like numbers. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's actually really annoying because that just comes up so often.
I mean, that's like Singularity was like that into the green decks in set one. I would always stare at the Singularity in my hand and stare at the one open rune that my opponent had and just go, well, if they on guard this, I guess I'm sick. Like, I don't know. But now it's staring to their 2 open runes in the purple deck and going, well, if they hard bargain this, I'm sick.
Yeah, my friend Jordan played in like a 5K yesterday and a 10K today with Kaisa, and he said I literally could just never resolve Singularity. There was like never a point they would always end with at least 2 runes, and
it sucks too because the Kaisa deck just like needs to main deck 3 time warp for game 1, and then post side you have to take them out, but then randomly you'll get excited, we'll just cap out at like 7 damage, and your deck just looks like horse shit. It's really upsetting. I don't want to talk about Kaiser anymore. I really want to make it work, but it's genuinely upsetting. Ugh.
Yeah. The next thing, besides like, I mean, I don't even know what to say about Aurelia. Like, it's a third most popular deck. I think it's also a hard deck to play. I don't think that deck is easy to play because it's so tempting to like want to burn runes to like trigger her ability, and I think a lot of people get like really overzealous and overcommit with it. I saw like a lot of like bad Aurelia stuff between China and today. I don't really want to get into Aurelia too much because I think the more interesting thing is Ezreal, which in the very first like 2 weeks of this Spiritforged coming out in China, I was like pretty convinced that Ezreal was like a really good deck. I think I put it in like the A tier of all the new things. Basically, immediately I knew anything with Chaos could not be terrible. And I think a lot of people wrote it off up until recently. And I know a lot of people are going as far as to thinking that Ezreal was secretly the best deck. So seeing that it's like also like the 4th most played deck after like early on, like I don't know if we look at China, what if we wouldn't see where Ezreal fell.
Like way down. Like way down.
Way down. 1, 2, 3,
you went
4,
past him. There you go.
5th. Yes, it 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
like not even close to being like the top 5 most of the time. So I feel like this could be a same scenario that we had with Annie, where China neglected it or could not figure it out, and we're going to see like another like really good deck, top contender, best deck. I don't know, but I always thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal's the deck I've been playing since set 2, not for any particular reason. It was actually just when I was opening my Spiritforged, it's just, I think I pulled an overnumber Ezreal and was like, oh, I can build this, I guess, and just had all the cards for it. So, like, the locals I've entered, I've just played the Pit Crew Ezreal deck, and I kind of agree with you. I'm going to try a different version of it. Those cards are cool for sure. Like, the Pit Crew stuff is
like the Pit Crew combo is very cool.
Yeah,
like,
it's just getting to it is not that consistent, and like if you don't see the combo of Pit Crew and Cole, wow, your deck looks terrible. Like your deck looks pathetic. So I definitely think also like Ezreal is such an open-ended legend and champion unit that there have to be a million different things you can be doing with him, right? Like there's like just I mean his legend ability isn't the greatest, but it is fairly generic card draw, right? That you can trigger if you build your deck around it. You can trigger it fairly frequently. Like Thousand Head Watcher is still a good card. Not against. It's weird. It's not good against the decks that are like very anti-Draven and the decks that are not really playing towards the battlefields. But Thousand Toed Watcher is still obviously a strong card. And Ezreal discounting the accelerate cost of Thousand Toed Watcher is also incredibly relevant. So
yeah, I think mostly you're like its power mostly comes from, I think, having Ezreal on like turn 2 like every game automatically.
Yeah.
Like, not so much it's legend, or not so much it's I would keep wanting to call it hero power. His like signature spell, like those are both fine. Like, you want to play like probably one of the signature
Yeah,
spell.
he has a
The
very
draw one
okay
the draw one
signature
is like
spell.
pretty whatever. You're already drawing a million cards anyway half the time.
Yeah.
But just the fact that you immediately get to Ezreal, so all your things start getting discounted, and you automatically start feeding into the rest of your deck early on to see those things like Called Shot and whatever other cards you need to start like setting up some sort of like kind of infinite resource loop type thing. I think that's really where the power lies. Not like Ezreal isn't just like some guy you're like Draven or all the other like leaders or like things that you're playing and try to like steal points with. Ezreal just sits at base the entire time, so you can discount your stuff.
Yeah. And I do think a big power spike in the Pit Crew deck was actually Unchecked Power. That was a card that really overperformed when I was playing. That if you're not playing the Pit Crew stuff and you can't really take advantage of Unchecked Power like that, that does seem like a big thing that you're losing. And when I say that, I mean Unchecked Power taps all your units. So if you hold Unchecked Power and a gear that you can play in the same turn, like you just like hold a seal for like an extra turn or something, you uncheck power, clear the battlefields, play a seal, and then your Pit Crew's untap, right? And then you can cap both points, and then Call will trigger, and it will untap them, and you retreat them. And it essentially turns unchecked power almost into like Time Warp, if that makes any sense. It basically just gives you 2 points, right? Like it's
No, it's similar things with like the combos with like Downwell, where like you like take 2 points, bounce everything back. Your opponent has to reset, and then you just take 2 points again.
Yeah, with the sneaky deckhands and Downwell.
Yeah, like that,
yeah. And it's like, I've not played a crazy amount. Like, I'm unfortunately not able to go. Obviously, none of us were at Polonia. I'm unfortunately not going to Vegas, so I haven't really been super tapped into the developments at the moment. I hope to go to Atlanta, but we'll see how the ticketing process goes. But from the games I've played, I have noticed that like tempo is still important, but it's not the be all end all that I think it felt like it was in set 1. If you fall like 1 turn cycle behind in points, you don't lose. It doesn't feel hopeless, which I think a lot of set 1 it kind of did. A lot of set 1 felt like it was playing on these razor thin margins of keeping up with your opponent, and then
like if you were started off and you were like 2 points to 5, you probably had lost.
Yeah, it was extremely difficult.
I feel like that's not the case now.
Yeah,
as much.
I agree. I think the spells just do a lot, and if you are able to have a turn where you can kind of build resources, then you can have another turn where you can kind of take the board back. I don't know. Like it's weird to explain it in 2 sentences. But
no, I mean like the spells are like feel much stronger, and I think a lot of it just has to do with like the chaos cards in general. Like all the cards like fight or flight. Rebuke,
they just invalidate your unit.
Well, yeah, stall
like you have to be weary every time, and then there's the dimension to it. We talked about like hard bargain before as well, where it's like now you have to factor that one into these purple matchups, like the mirrors and stuff like that, and it's just layers upon layers with it.
To go back to your point about Ezreal as well, I think something that I was not doing in my first couple of games, and as I was playing more, Ezreal, because you have one that starts in your champion zone, if you play multiples in your main deck, right, you are more likely to have multiple of them on the field at once because one of them just starts in front of you. And when you get that going, paying the repeat costs for his 2 mana spells for free are insane. Like when you hard bargain and then you get to repeat it for free, your opponent has to that's very disgusting. It's insane. Like you can just keep up 2 runes and that might as well be a wind wall. Like tacking on a 4 mana cost to your opponent's spell might as well be wind wall. in many
Also,
situations.
you get to accelerate for free too, right?
Yes, it can. Yes,
Yeah.
which is Thousand Tail Watcher thing is it one Ezreal discounts the energy and one Ezreal discounts the power.
The power, yeah.
I mean the gold gears discounting or paying the power, and then Ezreal discounting the energy kind of already makes Thousand Tail Watcher very free in that deck. But if you're not playing the call stuff, you probably have fewer gold gear tokens. It's really just Wages of Pain is the only one. If you don't play, because surely if you don't play Pit Crew and Cull, you don't play Card Sharp. But I don't know what other I can't think of any other instances of where you're making gold in that deck. But I mean, Wages of Pain is a strong card as well. That card is quite nice. As far as the other legends go from set 2, I guess let's step away from Chaos for a moment. What other legends that do not have Chaos do you think are contenders? I've seen a lot of people be pretty high on Azir and Fiora.
My favorite thing about Fiora is Riposte, so that's her signature spell.
Yes. I don't remember what it does.
Oh, it's literally counter anything and buff one of your guys.
Oh,
basically.
yes, that one. Yeah. Yes, that is a good one too. That is one of the and maybe it's also Fiora was a starter deck, right? Like that could be something as well. It's like it was starter deck, so
it was a starter deck, yeah.
People had more access to it. And then likewise, Rumble was the other starter deck, which was the least represented set 2 character at Bologna, which I truly think that's because unfortunately, I feel like it has Kaisa colors, so it's just a Dead on Arrival deck. Like Rumble's legend text would have to be kick your opponent in the teeth for people to stop playing Kaisa for a different blue-red legend, right? Like I just can't even literally like reaction tap, exhaust me, kick your opponent. Like that would, I don't know, man. Like that's I don't know what else and to say like I don't even think Rumble seems that bad. Like I've never played a Rumble deck, but I've read the cards that I would think go in a Rumble deck, and they don't even seem that bad. Like his, but also probably because a lot of the good ones
is like very, very, very good. Like not even like a signature spell, but like it's one of the things. Like early on, people were trying to build like this mech Kaisa deck because some of like the cards.
Exactly, right. And
like,
therein is the problem.
Rumble just sucks.
That's what I'm saying. Is there's the problem, right? Is it's not even a Rumble deck. You would just pick up your Rumble deck and just put it in Kaisa and just play a mech Kaisa deck, and it would just be better because. And I don't even think it's necessarily because of Kaisa's legend ability. I think it's because of the Kaisa champion unit. That is outrageous, right? Like that card is still just an outrageous card.
Yeah, I mean, also like some of like the mech spells or whatever also have power attached to them, so you just get to discount that, and like it's a combination of everything. Like she has way more going for her than poor old Rumble. But yeah, as for like the other ones that like can see a higher win percentage, I think Fiora is definitely up there for me. It's one of the decks I really wanted to try playing for Vegas. Like I think one of the most powerful. I think. Outside of Chaos, some of like the most powerful cards are in orange, and that's with Sabotage and Challenge. I personally think Challenge is the best orange card. Like, because there are so few removal cards in the game, and
that are as powerful. There
are even like fewer of ones that hit things in the back row.
Yeah.
Challenge hits things anywhere, and you can do it out of combat. So like they can't even like do anything most of the time outside of like quick buffing their stuff. But most of the time, like if you go like turn 1 Fiora and like they go turn 2 like play Draven pass, all you have to do is like buff your Fiora, put it on point, and she's 5, and you just challenge the Draven and they can't do anything and kill the Draven and it dies for basically free. Whenever they have to like go down to like 1 rune, like challenge basically clears anything you want.
Yeah.
I would think most people would think like Sabotage is the best orange card or Punch First. Punch First I think is like super overrated. I think it's a good card, but when you punch first and then you just get fighter flighted or rebuked, like it feels extra shitty.
Yeah.
So I mean
that's like the cards with the huge power costs feel the worst when something goes wrong, right? Because it's not just you paid a lot of mana and now you're down on tempo for this turn. It's like you're down on tempo for next turn too. Because two of your runes, your opponent just picked up two of your runes and ate them.
Yeah, but challenge and sabotage. Like sabotage, I also think is just crazy, and that's like one of the reasons I think you can sometimes like push into Draven with like the orange stuff. Like when you have like Sivir, like that's one of the, like the benefits of Sivir is it gets to play these cards, like sabotage, like challenge, punch first. But also something I like is that I really like being able to like with Sivir specifically go like play the sabotage and then like after that resolves, like, next turn you can fizz the sabotage again and then rip another card. Like I think that's really cool. But outside of like some talk about the other chaos cards, I think Azir is not very good. A lot of people are like Azir lovers, and I actually really like Azir. And I wanted to play him originally because I think he's really cool aesthetically. And people made fun of me because as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, they're like, "Oh, you just love the Egyptian stuff." And well, I guess so.
Weird. That's a weird.
What?
That's a yeah. What? That's
Yu-Gi-Oh players love the Egyptian stuff.
No. Okay.
But I actually just don't think I really just don't think it's very good. Like it relies having to like play equipments every turn, and if you can't play the equipments every turn, like your deck just doesn't do anything, and then like you have to put your guys on point, and then Draven farms them, and they draw cards. Like I just don't think the deck is very good. But there are a lot of people who really like it. Like I said, the Arise is like one of the most expensive cards in this set.
Yeah.
Because that is a very good card. Like you can just like summon 4 guys with it. But another one is Rek'Sai, which one of my friends, Alex Blandon, hyped up as like a kind of roguish deck and made the Phoenix card from set 1 jump up.
He's 6-2 at Bologna with it right now.
He is 6-2 with Rek'Sai, yeah.
Oh, sorry, 6-2, yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so our friend Alex Blandon is currently 6-2 with Rek'Sai at the event. And while that was actually one of the first decks I wanted to try out of set 2, because I think we talked about earlier, like playing cards for 0 or free or discounted is like always broken, and Rek'Sai gets to do that. Yeah, her spell is like, that's the thing too, is like, I did not know this. I called Rek'Sai a he, and it was very much corrected by like 10 people around me. It's a woman, it's a girl. Rek'Sai is a girl. So yeah, her signature spell is crazy. It's basically just like draw 2 and maybe you get to play a card. Yeah, unfortunately when it comes to Rek'Sai, yellow is just the weakest color in the game. I'm trying to think of like what the best yellow card is right now.
So what I will say, do you think there's a chance you think yellow is the weakest card in the game because it is currently the only legend that doesn't have a purple companion, or no? Do you not think that matters?
No, I think if there was a yellow purple champion,
it would still be bad.
Legend, I would it would have to be like very, very good.
Yeah.
For it to warrant the yellow cards. I'm trying to think. I really am trying to think of like what the best yellow cards are. And it would be like Hidden Blade, I guess. Like
Salvage. Salvage is good right now, I think.
Salvage is good right now. It's like a $6 uncommon, I think.
Yeah.
What else is there? Like
Call of the Week
for yellow. I
still think Soaring Scout is pretty good in a vacuum, but right now it doesn't seem good or useful or prudent.
Yeah, units that have to die, the worst thing ever in this format.
Yeah. Doesn't seem great right now. And then there's Imperial Decree is one that also creeped up. That's like a $3 or $4 uncommon now as well. That one went up. So there are yellow enjoyers out there. They do live amongst us, and they are buying Imperial Decree and Salvage. So
yes,
someone has to be playing this color. I'm not sure who. It's not even me currently. Currently, I don't even have a Victor deck built. So
like the 4-cost Fiora, that card I think is like a broken card, honestly. Like anything that is all the champions that have 4 cost and no power are always so strong. Like realistically, now this Fiora is always like a 5 power ganking deflect with shield 1, like, and that is just like pretty crazy. Like that's when I have that, like, ganking is like a very, like, if something has ganking and other positive effects, those cards are really good. Nothing right now really has that. So maybe like a baited hook, but all these cards are just like nowhere even close to the other cards, like in the other colors, like not even comparable.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Death Grip, like anything that's like instant speed like that can like sack a guy and do stuff. It also draws a card. I think that card's really good.
Yeah,
but
Drag Under is something, and like I think Blood Money is something, but even then, they're just not. I agree, they're not quite. I don't think they're on par with the cards that like just I'm trying to think of like other like uncommons and commons that can just rattle. Like Not So Fast is obviously a crazy card. That was a huge boost to green. Purple we've been talking about for 40 minutes, so obviously all the cards that purple got.
Yeah, for sure, I think green was like the second winner in my opinion in Spiritforged.
Yeah.
And well, red does have good cards. If we look at like the red cards that came in Spiritforged, none of this matters because we're trying to talk about like the other things that are like can do well that are not chaos.
Yeah,
they're just very few and far between. Like, and when we look at the top 10 decks, I think all the top 10 decks at the end of day 1 were all chaos.
Ugh.
Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
So it feels weird saying like what else can do good. It was like, well, what else cannot do bad? Maybe it's like it's like that, yeah. But we did see, yeah. I mean, Ari did have a 54. Ari's just a popular character, I think, and that's why maybe it was up there.
Yeah, I agree.
1,
I think
2,
that's
3,
the same.
4, 5. Yeah, so Ari is a popular character, which is why we probably see her at like a higher play rate than some of these other champions. Like we see Draven, Kaisa, Aurelia, Ezreal, Annie, Ari. Kaisa is the first one we see that doesn't have chaos. And Kaisa was already good before. Ari was not really great. So it is like to see actually the same amount. It's actually 54 Aris and 54 Victors. And Victor has actually seen some success in China. So to see that they are like the same play rate is kind of crazy to me. People really, really, really just love Ari. And well, I guess also like the Ari card, even now this will be like the second Ari foil metal card that you can get. By far, it's still going to be like one of the more expensive ones. Like even I think the most expensive card in Spiritforged is the signed.
It is by a lot.
Yeah, the signed Ari.
The most expensive overnumber is the Ari. The most expensive signature is the Ari, and the second for both is the Aurelia, though. So, is the Aurelia champion unit is the second most expensive signature and the second most expensive overnumber.
So now, as I'm saying this, it all clicks that a lot of people do just like Ari. Also, her metal card is going to be worth still.
Yeah,
like,
I personally think it's like if you're gonna play a metal card deck, you're either gonna play the dredges, like you're gonna play Garen or Rumble or something, or if you're not gonna play that, you might as well just play Ari because it will be by far the most valuable metal card, right? So I think that's the calculus you need to make when deciding if you're gonna play an off-meta deck. And it seems to be like
my friend tried that this weekend, and then he queued into another Ari round 1. And yeah, there they were. Yeah. He was not pleased.
Yeah, so that would kind of make sense, I guess.
That's kind of like my biggest issue with picking a deck for Vegas was, do I pick like something that is like really good, or if I do pick something to try to win the metal card, like surely like I don't want to pick like Lee Sin again, or like I really don't want to pick one of the male characters.
Lee Sin was the second most played deck, or second least played deck at Bologna.
Yes. Yeah, there's only 19, which is honestly, I think there might have been like 25 at mine. So like there really is not that much of a
That's
difference.
true. Yeah, that's true.
But realistically, you want to pick a new one of the new characters because there's less of them. Something else to talk about, we're just off tangent. There's only going to be like, I think it was like, did we talk about the number? Like, does it? I think it's 10 or so of the set 1 Legends metal cards after all the events are over.
For you're talking about for the best of ones, right? Not the
the best of ones.
Yeah. Something like that. I believe it was they said it'll be the first 3 sets, or like, so when set 4 comes out, they rotate out the set 1 best of metal cards.
Yes.
So if you're playing a set 1 champion after set 4 comes out, it's for the love of the game, not for, or like it's Kai'Sa because you think Kai'Sa's still the best deck, like not for, there's not any actual benefit for playing Garen like when set 4 comes out, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So yeah. So there's still, like, at the end of the day, like there will not be that many of these set one champions.
Sure. Yeah.
Like it's very feasible that someone could just like buy all 10 of them and have like all 10 Lee Sins or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I would realistically, I'd want to play one of the set 2 characters because there are less of them, so they'd be worth more. But also, I'd probably want to choose one of the girls because the girl cards sell significantly more than the guy cards. For significantly more. Like, it's actually crazy, some of the differences. So it leaves you kind of like Aurelia, Sivir, Fiora, and Aurelia, like,
Rek'Sai.
is not something I probably, and yeah, Rek'Sai, of course, yeah. I mean, there are probably people who are into that, so, but yeah, when I think of like Aurelia is really cool, but she's also really popular. Do I want to play someone who's really popular like that and like have to go against all the other people? And then it's like, oh, well, like Sivir and like Fiora are like kind of like the middle of the ground characters where they're like kind of like they see like the middle play rate, and also they're like kind of like middling in the tier list. I think Sivir is like quite better than people give it like credit for, but if I were to like play one of these, I know I'm probably not going to win the event, but I can probably win a card. And is Sivir or Fiora like a crazy popular character I'd get a lot of money for? I don't really know, honestly. I don't know if either of the character are crazy popular. So that's my tangent about how I pick a card or pick whatever we're going to play, because I really have no idea with this one. Like, I really want to. Yeah, it's keeping me awake at night. Which woman do I have?
Lee Sin needs a wife.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how the results shake up from Polonia. Like I want to see how many of the, or like I want to see the highest placements for the best of characters for like the really bad characters. Like I just want to know like what place does the best performing Rumble get, right? For a character like that. Like I'm just curious to see. I know I've said Rumble twice now in this example. I don't mean to be hating on Rumble. I think Rumble's kind of cool. I don't really know, I don't know why I'm picking on Rumble so much.
I mean, he is like the worst of the new ones, so I mean, that makes sense. Like, there's what is this, 25 Rumbles in the tournament? So it'd be really cool to like have them show like the end of day 1 rankings of where they fall.
That would be cool, yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's something they can do in the future. Like end of day 1, here are these like top 28 characters now? Like
20 characters, yeah.
Yeah, maybe instead of like the player's heart rate, they could have actual
Okay, yeah. Let's touch on the stream. Okay, yeah. So I never really have enjoyed watching like TCG streamed content. I don't know if just because of I didn't enjoy watching streamed Yu-Gi-Oh! For whatever reason, and I've just never really tried watching many other ones. I'll probably try to watch Top 8 tomorrow. Maybe I'll enjoy it a little more, but I'm not optimistic. I did see people posting about the heart rate monitors, though, and that was wild. And they got rid of them from round 5 onward, I think.
Yeah.
So
because like I did not know about them until I looked at Twitter, and I started watching in round 5.
Yeah.
So I did not see them, and I went to Twitter and saw someone post about it, and I thought, oh, someone just edited this to make like some meme.
No.
I went back and looked. Yeah, round 4. Here's this heart rate monitor. I'm like, what the hell? Are they trying to figure out like who's taken 20 Adderall for this tournament or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be like an anxiety thing. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the, like, to see someone's heart rate go up and then the commentator go like, he's getting nervous. Like, what? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Right?
So it'd be really funny for mine because I have an Apple Watch, and there are times where I will be at a tournament or I'm like I was at a regional and watching one of my friends play.
Yeah.
And he was playing so bad. And my watch went, "Are you okay? You're standing still and your heart is like and your heart is going like at 120." And I was like, this is how bad I am right now internally, I guess. I was getting so mad at how bad he was playing for no reason. So I can only imagine what it might be like when I'm actually playing. I think usually I'm pretty like chill when I'm playing, but also when I have been playing, my watch has gone off and said, "Hey, you were stationary. Why is your heart rate so high?"
I definitely feel like my heart rate would go up if my opponent is playing really slowly. That would probably be like, if I start getting agitated, that would be the only thing I can think of where like I would really feel that way. But yeah, I don't know. That just seems weird. And we'll see if they have them for day 2, but I hope not. Like, that is just a very odd thing to include, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. As for the rest of the stream, I know you were talking about them posting the players' deck lists like in between games of the stream and like posting them on Twitter, and I guess.
So I thought that was really weird, but maybe that's because we come from Yu-Gi-Oh! And like seeing someone's deck in the middle of a tournament, that is like absurd to me. That like I did not think that was a thing any other game did.
Yeah. I mean, most games I think have open deck lists in Top Cut, and when I say most games, I do mean like a lot of them. And even Riftbound did, right? Like in Houston, it was open deck list in Top Cut, but I think that was a decision made to equalize the fact that some players had been on stream and some players hadn't, which I think makes sense. And I think if you're going to have a live stream, Top Cut generally should probably be open deck list if some people's decks are going to be revealed and some people's aren't. But I do think putting their entire deck list on the stream and posting their entire deck list on Twitter is kind of extra. Like, that is a little extra in my opinion, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Like, unless like on the app or whatever, or like the software, like your deck list is on there, so you could like look on your phone, like at their deck list, like in the middle of a game or in the round.
Houston was paper deck list. Houston wasn't even.
Yes, but I do know there was something they posted on Twitter about here's how you submit your deck list.
So maybe they are using the deck builder moving forward on the.
But I am not sure. But I do know that they posted this is how you submit your deck list, and I figured it was something online.
So what I will say,
I don't know.
Universes, the other game that UVS games, I mean, the game that they like make, not just distribute. Their tournaments are open deck list, and you submit your deck list through the app online. And when you are paired for your round, you can look at your opponent's deck, and you are supposed to look at your opponent's deck list on the pairings. So on the pairings, you look at your opponent's deck list, and that game does, they talk about the decks on the stream because it's an open deck list tournament, right? Like you can look at every single person's deck list in the entire tournament, like if you want to. So. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the case I do not know if that was the case for Bologna.
Right.
We'll see, I guess. We'll see for Vegas if they do similar or identical things.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like just very strange to me. And as someone who like really likes to innovate and try cool things that no one else is doing, I would hate that if it happened to me in Yu-Gi-Oh! I've won quite a few tournaments and done very well at tournaments where no one knew about my deck and very like well known for that. So potentially not being able to do that in Riftbound is kind of upsetting, but it is what it is. They're paying me 5 figures for prize cards, whatever.
Yes. Yes. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. I just hope that moving forward, if this will be the case, there will be more like announcements, more clarity about like this tournament will be open deck list. If you're on stream, your deck list will be posted. Like I could see people declining stream matches if their deck lists are going to be posted. Like that is a competitive disadvantage, right? If going on stream means that your deck list is posted, and not going on stream means that your deck list is secret, that's just strictly bad to be the stream match. And that's not an environment you want to create for the player, because you obviously want it to be exciting for a player to be on the stream match, right? Like you don't want it to be a disadvantage to their tournament. So I'm hoping there will be some like, and again, there is obviously information surrounding this that we don't have. Like I don't know the deck list process for Bologna. For Vegas.
It's also weird because me and Bohdan literally know so many people who are there right now, and we could have just asked them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll do that afterwards.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It is probably like 5 a.m. for them or something in Bologna.
Yeah, it's like probably late enough, right?
Bologna time. 6 a.m. was close.
Yeah. Which means the stream will be back up in a few hours.
Yes.
I know.
We could bring back the Twitch channel.
We could.
Yes. Yes. Live stream was talking about it at what would it be? 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. Yeah. Yeah.
And what 4 hours from now for Bohdan? What time would it be for you in Australia?
So it would be like 7 p.m.
Okay, that's literally nothing.
That's why I'm like, my time to shine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other? That's kind of all I had for for the set 2 stuff. I don't know if there's anything. I guess now that we're after day 1 of Bologna, what are your predictions? Do either of you have any hot takes that like some deck besides Draven will win? Like obviously could be anything. Like, do you think we'll see an Annie situation where a deck like Ezreal will just win the whole event, or do you think it'll be the Draven League of Draven?
I think this one Draven will win, and I think if a not Draven wins, it'll be in Vegas.
It'll be a miracle deck for sure, right?
Oh, you think? Oh, like sure. Like I was gonna say like I think Draven for sure is going to win this tournament. I think Vegas if Vegas has a higher possibility of being won by not Draven, I think.
Sure.
Because people will have more time and be able to like look at these results and like refine decks, right?
Yeah.
I also think a lot of people maybe didn't pick Draven for this event specifically, just to try to spike the best of, and then just worry about it like for the future, right? Because first best of for Spiritforged is probably going to command a high price, so that's why you saw
the next ones are in a week, so I don't think it's that.
But like relative to like other circumstances, you could get this one. You could ask for a higher price versus like not doing that. That's why a lot of people ended up picking like Jinx and all these other like pet decks. Like Alex played Rek'Sai, I think Daniel played Jinx, and there's 6 and 2. There's multiple Jinx that are X2, by the way.
I mean, that makes sense because it's a popular character and it's chaos. So
it's literally just Miracle Jinx. Like it's just Draven, but Jinx.
Is your deck chaos? Congratulations, you can play the Miracle version.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, your discard deck gets to play Ezreal? Oh man. I guess.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Where is so I brought up real quick before we finish this, the stats from Houston.
Yeah.
For decks being played. And just to compare, like obviously there are 14 more decks now, is that what it is, or 12?
12 more decks now? 12 more decks. It went from 16 because there are 12 decks in each set and then 4 extra decks from the Proving Grounds.
Right.
So there was 16 for the set 1 and then 12 for set 2.
So there 33% of the tournament was Kaisa at the time.
Yeah.
That's already cut in half by Draven by adding 12 more decks.
Yes, that is true.
Going back to like we said, like Miley Sin, there were 21 people who played it. What was it here? Lee Sin was 19. There was 3 more people in mine who played it. It's almost exactly the same.
2 more people, but yeah.
Yeah, it's 19. Yeah. Oh, 19, not 18. Yeah.
Yes, it says.
But this one, let's see. Ari had 63 people playing it at Houston. Ari here has 54. Annie had 122. 67 here. Oh, I heard that. Yeah, but it's really interesting to see how just by adding the 12 decks, like the percentage difference it adds
I don't think it's
to the tournament.
I think that's expected, right? When there's more decks, and especially because this game has the like organic way of meta diversity of like giving a crazy prize to people that play off meta.
That's what I say. I was going to say if the best of prizing was not like the way it is, I don't think we would see this split.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely,
I think it would be closer to like 35 or 40% Draven.
Yeah.
So it's really weird from like a competitive standpoint. Like, are you really creating the best competitive environment for people? Or like, do you understand what I'm getting at?
I do understand what you're getting at. Yeah, you're like you're creating tournaments where success can be determined by matchups or by pairings more than actual player skill, because you have, let's just say, it looks like 50%, literally 50% of the tournament playing decks that they know are not good, that like you just could play against people playing bad decks who are just trying to go, X3 instead of people playing the good deck to win the tournament. And if you're playing Draven, you could have a bracket where you just hit everyone playing the metal cards for X number of rounds in a row.
I mean, the first 3 rounds could just be people playing like the metal card runs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you could just have essentially, not to say that you playing Draven is 100-0 against someone. I mean, against Garen it might be, but like not to say that, Draven is 100-0 against, like Yasuo or something. But obviously, Yasuo is a significantly weaker deck, and most people playing these characters are not playing them because they think they're the best deck. They're playing them because they want the essentially consolation prize, right? Which when your consolation prize is worth more than some of your real prizes, is that a problem, right? I think that's kind of what you're getting at. And yeah, it's interesting. Like there are obviously pros and cons.
You can make like, I lost in Top Cut and won the Lee Sin.
Yes.
And walked away with more than some of the people who made to like top
4.
8.
Yeah.
Even top 4. Even top 8.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. I don't know. It's weird to talk about. Maybe it's a conversation for another time, but it's just something to think about.
For sure. I agree with you. That concludes our part 1 of our Spiritforged, whatever. In a couple weeks, hopefully, we will be back to talk about the results of Bologna and Vegas, and maybe
wish me luck for another metal card.
Yep. And
you'll have the New Zealand 10K that Asala and I are going to as well.
That is true. And then
that also has metal cards on the prize wall. Apparently, who would have thought?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bohdan can talk about his tournaments with Riftbound.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. Thank you all for listening.
Okay. All right, Bohdan. I guess, sure.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.